Down here, back again. Back down here again. It's because I just did a video. Go watch it. As always, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You know. You know. But I figured I will, do another episode of Fallout 4 walkthrough. Whatever. But yeah, I figured I would, do another episode while I'm not doing anything. Now, I can either go with the Institute or inform the Railroad or inform the Brotherhood. Now, for this walkthrough or whatever I'm doing, this episode series or whatever I'm doing for Fallout 4, I'm wanting to make this interesting. I'm just not gonna do, hey, I'm only doing Brotherhood. I've done some Railroad, I've done Brotherhood, Institute, Minutemen. But for the most of it, I've done Brotherhood. And in a minute, I'm actually going to have some cereal once I'm done with this.
Attention. Bravo 6-4, report to Armor Bay 2. Bravo 6-4 to Armor Bay 2.
Please continue assisting Proctor Ingram in any way that you can.
I have something urgent to report, Elder. The Institute is attempting to recover escaped synths at Bunker Hill.
How did you obtain this information? Our reconnaissance hasn't reported anything of the sort.
I have it on good authority. You'll just have to trust me.
Protecting your source, is it? Very well. Since you've given me no reason to doubt you in the past, your word will suffice. Your report provides us with a golden opportunity to state our intentions to the Institute. I'm placing you in command of this mission. Exterminate the synths at Bunker Hill, and whomever the Institute sends to retrieve them. I'll instruct Kells to assign you the appropriate backup. Dismiss, soldier.
Alright, so I'm gonna do this mission, but that's it. Like, and then I'm gonna have some cereal and food, because I'm hungry. So I've been instructed, or whatever, to kill the synths. And whoever has been sent.
Lancer Captain Kells is one of the finest officers I've ever had the pleasure of serving under.
Yep, and now we're gonna be stuck in an infinite quick save loop. Yippee for frickin' me! I'm tired of dying instantly. What cereal should I have? I have Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Apple Jacks. Think I'm gonna eat Apple Jacks mixed with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't want this to be too long of a mission.
Commonwealth's a dangerous place. Make sure you gear up before you head out.
I need to do this quick though, I'm hungry.
What the? This is gonna be fun.
As you can hear, I am hungry.
I've been waiting for you.
Sorry to have held you up.
Try and keep up from here out. Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved. The situation, we move in.
Hey, I'm gonna need some of your grenades. Hand them over.
Negative. You are not up.
Here we go, I guess.
Here are the recall codes. SRB intelligence reports indicate that the synths are... The mission's parameters just changed. We go in shooting. Requesting back...
this.
Whew. Why is this not loading? I don't think this thing knows where it's sending me. I think I might have messed up. Whoa. Huh. This is funny. You know what just happened? I think it's sending me to kill the courser that I killed a long time ago.
Son,
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
it's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They left me on ice. For 60 years.
They did. And for good reason. I was the perfect candidate. If something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized the contingency plan was through. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. It's remarkable. Soon, I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
We were totally ambushed. They were waiting for us.
You can imagine that I find that very hard to believe, given that all the intelligence leading up to this indicated we'd taken them by surprise. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Okay. So, you saw my options. I muted myself because I was eating some Apple Jacks. Yeah, Apple Jacks. So, I told them we were ambushed and I was hoping it would work, but it's hard. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to. There's something I just don't trust about these people.
Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, I mean, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
I don't think so.
It's all right. I wouldn't expect you to have. The project has been classified from the beginning. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
In this world, I'm sure compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. On our surroundings. That time is over. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Sounds like an important step.
That's an understatement. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No! You can't be serious!
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
This truly is a wonderful place, isn't it?
No.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even...
I can do the job.
Of course you can. That's why I made the decision. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Alright, that's gonna be the end of this episode. Like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want to do, comment, I don't care. Deuces.